Hi, my name is Stacy Baines, and this is my internship that I did at Kershaw Intermediate School in 2024 for Brigham Young University as a marriage and family studies major. So, first of all, to find my internship, 3 years ago, what happened was I was an accounting major, and I decided I wanted to work with my kids and be closer to them. So I went and became a paraprofessional for a year, and I decided I loved working with kids. And so I changed my major from accounting to marriage and family studies. I also um, noticed while I was working in the school that the school counselor, she always had interns with her. And so I asked her if she ever had marriage and family studies interns to see if I would be able to get an internship with her when I switched. And she said yes. She um, frequently had marriage and studies, family studies majors, and that would not be a problem. I um, It took me 2 years to get all my marriage and family studies classes, and I actually, like one of my prereq classes, I wasn't able to get until my last semester, other than my internship. So once I got all of my required classes, then I was able to talk to her, apply to her, and get a position as being an assistant to her as a school counselor. Some of the things that I did for her was we had classes that we taught regularly, social and emotional learning classes, where different classes would come in and we teach them different skills for emotional regulation and understanding their emotions, which that was a lot of fun being able to teach. We had social detective classes to help social awareness for students that either might have autism or even ADHD that aren't always aware of social cues. Then we would also teach walk to read, which was just where we'd have kids read. But while we did that, we also tried to include maybe some life skills and connect emotional learning to the reading we were doing. Also, I was able to help put together a friendship group for the girls to help them with friendships and understanding healthy friendships and how to be a good friend. We also worked with behavior intervention. We provided one-on-one help when necessary. Sometimes the student needed a little extra help to be able to focus or modify their behavior in the classroom. We helped with classrooms that teachers maybe would come to us and say, I'm having this problem in my classroom, and help them find skills to manage those. We also dealt with crisis management, where a student may come and they are not able to control themselves, so helping to calm them down using de-escalation to teach them de-escalation to help them to be able to enter the classroom again. Sometimes this included maybe feelings of suicide and having to watch those and contact parents to help them understand what we were seeing and what was going on. We also did observations where we'd go in and watch the students to see how they were doing and take records, and maybe to help with psychological evaluations or whatnot to see what they were going and how they related to peers in their class, see if maybe they needed some extra help. We also did some community outreach, working with parents, helping them understand what we were doing in the school, what programs we were offering. We would help come up with plans for students and try to work with them with what would work best for their child. And then also sometimes we were able to help them with participation in community programs, like if their family needed some assistance, or sometimes they needed some maybe aids, uh, educational aids, and their programs, like either different aids in the community that can help them get medical help or get resources they need. And we were able to help connect them with them and get them set up with the things they needed for their children to succeed. Um, so as one of the main things I feel like I was able to contribute as a team, we had where I was working, there was the school counselor, and then she had 2 interns. She usually has about 2 interns at a time. And so there was 3 of us in a small office, and there's also lots of breakdowns and changes. We have crisis that comes up, and then we have to go and take care of it. So there was a lot of flexibility in having to change and be like, okay, you were going to teach this class, but now I have to go in and teach it because you need to go help in this situation, or vice versa. So a lot of flexibility, a lot of being able to jump in wherever was needed to help. And I felt that's something I'm pretty comfortable with, probably with my past experience being a mom, being able to just adapt to the situation. What I learned about IEPs and 504s, which are plans written for children to help them succeed in the school system. I learned to have patience for all different people and their situations. They're all trying. I learned how much I love teaching and working with children, and that I really want to keep on this course, with working with children and helping them emotionally and behaviorally and educationally. So I was able to learn it is a place I feel like I fit. One of the classes that I feel like was really helpful in in um, in this internship was the family and community relations. It it taught about different community resources, and we went around and found ones that were available and why they were there and how to access them, which came really in handy being able to provide this to students, to students and families, to show them what was available and what they had outside of the school to help their children. And one thing we know is that if we strengthen families, then it also strengthens students. So providing them with these tools is able to help families and students succeed. Another one was Child and Welfare Services, where we learned to write comprehensive treatment plans, and we learned about like at-risk populations. And I felt like comprehensive treatment plans really related to IEP and 504 plans. They're just a plan to set that you look up and see how to get maybe a child who's struggling or someone who's struggling to a point where they can succeed. We studied at-risk populations, so identifying problems and what might be a problem before we know it. We worked with kids of parents that were getting divorced to help them cope with that change so that they could continue to function. We had students that were going through adoption and lots of developmental disabilities, and that really affects how they're able to succeed and how we need to help them. And I absolutely recommend this internship. I got to do so many different things. There's always work to do in the school, and Christina Henry is absolutely wonderful to work with. She is willing to stop and teach and learn and teach and to help you learn the things you want to learn, as well as, helping you feel valuable and doing things in the school. So I have her information here if you want to contact her about applying for an internship. And thank you. That's the end of my presentation.